Alright, so this is Judas. Very little hearts. I think he only starts with 1 in a soul heart. Medium speed, really high attack, and he's got the Book of Belial. And so the Book of Belial passively makes it so that at the end of a level, the chances of a Devil Room is much, much higher. And when used, it will give you a huge damage boost. And I'm way wrong. It's just one heart. Someone has 1 heart and a soul heart, but... So, I personally don't like Judas because I end up taking way too many hits, but it's not bad. Alright, these, whoa, are Loki's horns. One thing about them is they don't actually increase your tears. They just make it that there's a % chance that your tears will shoot in... Come on, one more time. Will shoot in the 4 directions of whatever type of tier you're currently working with. So that can be helpful if you got some really powerful tiers, just kind of like get them sprayed all around the room. Also helps if you have a higher tier rate. Okay, that was no good. We're doing that again. I want to at least get past the first boss. Show off what the book can do. Yeah, so Judas is pretty much your glass cannon fighter. I have just made a huge error. Well, maybe not. This is technology, not to be confused with technology 2. It shoots a beam instead of tears, but it can be quite advantageous. I don't know if the Book of Belial will actually help this any, but I like this item, so not bothered. Looks like it does affect it because the beam got way bigger. And as a result, it's probably doing more damage. So while the technology isn't an end all, it's a pretty good start at the beginning. I'm thinking that I'll kind of go ahead and explain technology 2, even though we're not dealing with it right now. It's very similar, another laser eye, but it shoots a constant beam rather than, you know, little bursts. And it will usually not be quite as powerful. It's usually kind of seen as weak. Definitely not very strong against bosses. There is one of the baby followers, the Robo Baby, which shoots a beam similar to this, and I'd say that's much better if you wanted something similar. But you know, you don't usually get to choose that kind of stuff. Okay, yeah, this is the small rock I was talking about earlier. It'll slow you down, but it increases your damage. I'm going to take it because I'm being risky. Yeah, it's slowing me down quite a bit. Alright, since we ignored Abel last time, let's go pick him up. So, he's not incredibly useful, but won't cause harm. We'll go ahead and go fight the boss. I skipped it again, but this boss is a good one to have technology against, because you can attack all the pieces at once, just completely draining him of any power. All right, so this is Krampus. He is a boss that can show up only in the Devil Room. That being his attack you actually have to watch out for. This one's dodgeable. That, and it does one whole heart of damage, I believe. And it stays on screen for a while, too. But he drops a unique item that you can't get from anything else. The lump of coal, which makes it so that your shots over a distance get larger, which means they're stronger, so the further away you can hit something, the more damage it does. I don't know if that actually affects technology or not, but looks like it might. And here I'm going to use a little trick. I completely take that back. Oh, never mind, that worked out. Usually it gives me a regular beggar, and I was going to pay him a bunch and hopefully get something good, because he can, if he's in the Devil Room, will pull from the pool of Devil Room items. In this case, we got the Devil Beggar, and so I gave him half a heart, and he actually ended up giving me something. He gave me the left hand trinket, which makes it so that all of my chests that I find are going to be red chests, which isn't great, but if I have no other trinket, it's fine. Now that I think about it, I really probably shouldn't even bother being in here. But that's okay, we'll spend a little bit. Oh, and I realized I didn't even use the Book of Belial. That's okay. We really could use a health up item, though. This is the trinket, the safety cap, which increases the drop chance of pills, which is much better with Cain, but I'm actually thinking we're just not going to bother, because I'm not going to... If I had any pills, I probably wouldn't end up using them. I don't know if I can do it right. But yeah, see, you can cross in between spikes like this if they have the gap in between the two. It can be a little bit of a pain to do, but it's possible. Actually, I bet. Okay, so Abel has disadvantages sometimes. Ah, the world card shows me the world, so we can use that to our advantage. Kind of just get over towards the treasure rooms and skip anything unnecessary. It does also show the secret room, which if I can get a bomb, I'll head over there. Good example of the left hand in action. Doesn't help that I don't have a bomb for that one either, though. This is the doctor's remote. Even though I'm not going to be taking it with me, I'll show you what it does. You activate it, you can control this little X, and it drops a big missile wherever it lands. I just realized I totally could have used that to destroy those rocks. That's right, I wanted to show you guys even more. So this bomb we'll hang on to and see if I can get anything from this room, because I might end up using it on the red chest. I'm not sure. Yeah. Well, we need to go exploring for a key anyway. Open up that other treasure room. That was close. This is cancer. As appropriately as cancer does, it doubles your tier rate, probably even faster. This is almost always a really good item, so this is one trinket I always try and go for usually. So I am going to hang on to that. Getting another key is just proving to become worse and worse. There's also that bomb tinted rock to... not bomb tinted rock. A tinted rock. Okay, there's a bomb. So what we will do, at least with these, is first I will go blow this up. Hope that spiders don't pop out. Or that. Then we'll go for the secret room next. While still looking for a key, we'll save the tinted rock for last, if we can manage to find a bomb. Boy. Okay, so that's kind of tempting if I can get 2 keys. Go into the shop, see if I can buy anything. Well, there's one. And I think I might just end up sticking with just the one. Not bothering to go for the soul hearts from that, if there are any. And we've got... this one I actually don't know. I'm going to guess this is Mr. Mega. Yeah, so he makes it so my bombs... well, first he gave me 5 bombs, and he makes it so my bombs do more damage, or have a bigger blast radius. One of the two. There's kind of a few bomb items that are all really similar, so I don't remember the difference between them all. So we are going to head over to the boss. And it looks like if things aren't... well, we'll see. Oh, nice. Okay. That's what I've been waiting for. Something like that. I just skipped it again, didn't I? Oh, really quick take note that he's a tinted dark. You can see right there. I'll explain the significance of that in a sec. Oh, nice. Another health hug. Alright, so the importance of that was the bosses can be tinted certain colors, orange, red, blue, dark like that. And it changes their behavior from how they normally act. It looked like this enemy, boss, I can't remember his name, was much more interested in putting, like, summoning stuff rather than sitting there shooting at me, which worked out in the end. Lucky Foot's kind of tempting. That's the item that Kane had. I think I'm going to skip it though because I'm just running really low on health. Actually, 3's okay, but for this point in the game, it's really low. Shit. Those things, really dangerous. These things, really dangerous. These have a ton of health. Well, they did. Basically, even though I'm making it look kind of easy, this is some really bad stuff. This is when the game really kicks it up. Well, for the first time. Okay, nice. Right away I'm going to use one of these keys on the shop. Hopefully there's not a boss in there. Then we'll see what we can buy. Maybe like a heart or something. So, a little bit of a waste of a key, but got money, didn't get hurt, more importantly. Ow. Yeah, see, spiders can be tricky, especially because trying to kind of imitate a 3D world onto a 2D, you know, medium is not to be without its issues. I may go for that. Ah, these are the pinking shears. What they do is cut off your head, separate it from your body. Your body will follow you like a follower, so it'll attack stuff that you get near, but more importantly, it lets me go over gaps. But it's only for just that one room, and then it needs to recharge. So we're going to stick with the Book of Belial still. But that time I was able to show it off and get the heart. And so I'm saving this judgment card, hopefully for another devil room or something. Let's see what the... Yeah, just regular chest. Sometimes it's gold chest. I don't know if red chests can appear from just arenas. But sometimes they'll actually have an item up on a pedestal already, so I know what I'm going to get. And I don't think you can get special items with a regular chest. That may be the best kind of in that area is that you can get a golden chest from a regular chest. Yeah, so this is one of the 4 horsemen's. Actually, I believe there's like 5 in this game, but it's just a horseman. Sadly, all the horsemen except for 2 drop the exact same item, but it stacks and gets better the more you have, for the most part. And I'm going to die if I'm not very, very, very careful. So yeah, here it is, the cube of meat. At first it's just an orbital, can block some shots. When you get a second one, it turns into a head, but it'll still be an orbital, and so it'll shoot tears along with you. Third, it detaches from you and becomes a follower, a little meat boy. Fourth one turns into a bigger meat boy. I don't really find them worth it. But with this judgment card, without going to explore too much further, we're going to go to the treasure room and use judgment there and hopefully not get a devil demon beggar and see if I can get something good. I actually don't know if I've tried this before, so we'll see. The stars will be really helpful on the next floor. And the heart's nice too. Alright, so we got the compass. That will show the location of important rooms on the map. I guess it does not do the secret room, but when we enter a floor, we'll immediately see, you know, the special room, boss room, special room, treasure room, I mean. And I believe any special rooms like the shop, sacrifice room, or curse room, I mean. Well, maybe the sacrifice room too. The only thing is you don't get to see the squares that they're on, so you kind of have to guess. And sometimes you can. It's not too hard to guess incorrectly. So even though I know that the treasure room is down there, I'm going to use the stars card, which will teleport me straight to it, and I get to enter without having to pay. This is teleport, which is a remote, which will teleport you into a random square on the map. I'm going to hang on to my book. Yeah, I'm going to hang on to my book just because if I test out teleport, I'm afraid I'm going to end up somewhere worse than I already am. But that's okay because it didn't really matter anyway. So next is Eve. Doesn't have a whole lot of health or attack. She's kind of fast. And she starts with 2 items, the Dead Bird and the Whore of Babylon. And so, Dead Bird, right here, when you get attacked, it'll become a follower and start helping fight other stuff. The Whore of Babylon, when you get to half a heart of health, you kind of turn into a demon and can do a whole lot of damage. The strategies usually for Eve is to get yourself down to a half heart with a ton of soul hearts so you can just keep out pumping out damage. I picked up the best friend item. I absolutely hate this item. I think it's terrible. It is ridden with glitches, I believe. Basically you drop down a crying Isaac doll that explodes. It takes way too long to explode, I think, to accurately guess where it's going to hit someone, but I'll use it in the upcoming boss fight just to show it off. Dead Bird follower typically isn't super smart. Actually, none of the followers are. So, well, yeah, followers. So I don't really rely on them much for help. Okay, we're not going to be able to use it on pin. Well, I can just drop it there anyway. See, it's not good enough to accurately guess it. That was the key part of that. So yeah, fire can hurt some enemies. Some enemies actually get powered up by fire. Really dangerous stuff. Of course, I'm not watching. Okay, PhD, better pills. It's the same thing as the Lucky Foot. Gives you only positive neutral pill effects. Will fully heal you, I believe. And if you get a pill, after holding it for just a few seconds, you will know what it is without having to use it first, unlike the Lucky Foot. This run might not last very long. I have actually gotten far with Eve in the past. Usually I get really lucky with some kind of item combination, but this one's just not looking very good. This is a huge risk, but because we have the pentagram, I figure it's worth it, a shot. Could really use a tears up though. Oh boy, if this is how all these boss fights are going to be, this is going to take quite some time. Okay, I didn't mean for that to happen, but that's alright. So yeah, now this is the Whore of Babylon. We do a lot more damage. Double damage, I think. And if we're somehow lucky enough to beat this boss, I will be extremely thankful. Yeah, see, the enemies actually will attack the best friend. The thing about it is that... Whoa. Is that I've read that it can do damage to you. So I don't really like that. Okay, oh boy, I'm screwing everything up. Flash sometimes has little bugs like that. Alright, this is little Steve. That was the boss, Steven, I believe. And so he's another follower. He will shoot homing tears, which the homing ability isn't the best, but it's not bad. That was the less than 3, the heart, health up. Also seemed to fully heal me too. So that's not a bad start. Sometimes the homing tears can be way better than other times. I guess it all just depends on the angle of the shot. But keeping in mind that this is a Flash game, it does have its fair share of limitations and issues. This is Bob's Rotten Head. I'm actually going to take this instead. It is basically a thrown bomb that will cause heavy poison damage. So that'll be kind of nice on some bosses. I don't know, it might also cause an explosion and hit secondary targets too. Anybody caught within the blast. Oh, something to keep in mind is you actually can blow up, with bombs, you can blow up the blood donation machines, which will mainly give hearts, the shell game, which will give usually just some random items, maybe some coins, and then also the arcade machine, which typically gives kind of the same stuff. And one important thing about blowing up the shell game, or beggars for that matter, is that it will increase the chances of reaching Devil Room. So if that's what you're trying to go for, that's one way. But if we're lucky, I can show off an Angel Room, or as I've heard it called before, a God Room. Those, I honestly couldn't tell you off the top of my head how to get them, but usually some various ways, items and such, and those are free items. So they'll have one item on the pedestal that you can just take. They're usually some good stuff, though they're kind of noted for being more defensive than offensive, like the Devil Room items. But there are a couple that are just really, really good. Boy, if we're not careful, we're not going to get a key. Get that second treasure room. Ooh, wow. That's nice. So yeah, there's a rare chance of that happening. Just being like a drop. Sometimes you can get kind of like this is very similar to one of the bosses. It pretty much is. It's just smaller. So you can almost get bosses in rooms with no big prizes at the end for killing them. Two diamonds doubles the money that you currently hold. I could have held on to that. I chose not to. Because honestly, I still don't even have much hope for this run, but it's not bad. I'm really hoping for a key from this. Of course not. I skipped it again. I wanted to know who this is. So yeah, big, terrible poison. And it's over. So, next we have question mark, aka the blue baby. -1 hearts, I'll explain that in a sec. Normal speed, normal attack. With the poop, which is like the worst item in the game. First of all, Curse of the Lost adds, I think, 4 rooms to the floor, just kind of make things more of a pain. So the thing about Blue Baby is he only has soul hearts. He can only have soul hearts because HP up items only give him an extra soul heart. So he's known for being one of the tougher characters to play. I can't play him worth a damn myself. So this probably won't last very long, but I have a little fun with it. Oh, might as well show off the poop. So you poop. I mean, in very rare cases, it can be used to defend. Refills every room, but as you can see, hearts are completely useless. And for me, at least, soul hearts are just so fragile that I can't manage well. Oh, completely forgot. Up here, you can only see it on the map, but this is a library. When you go inside, there are 2 books on pedestals, varying from the books that you have unlocked or have currently in the item pool. It can be pretty good. If I had an extra key, I'd actually do it. That was a bad idea. Okay, never mind. I will take Crack the Sky, which, like an Angel Feather, Pegasus Feather, I don't really know for sure which one, but when you use it, it will bring down a bunch of beams of light, which can do big damage to enemies if they get hit by it. It's randomly placed, so it's usually not too terribly often. This is Widow. I actually know this guy's name. I should show it one of these times if I can stop compulsively skipping it. He has kind of low health, I noticed recently, but because he can spawn Others can be a real pain, but I think he can only spawn two little spiders nest things at a time. So another heart, completely useless. I forgot to mention the last time we got the box. It'll drop one type of coin, heart, key, bomb, pill, card, and trinket. So usually it's quite good. Puberty's one of the neutral cards. It doesn't really do anything. Double my keys. Grab the left hand and move on. This is Bloody Lust, which surprisingly is the item that the last character we're going to go over has. And basically it is where you, as you kill things in a single room, your damage goes up until it reaches a maximum when you turn red and your tears all turn red. So if you're in a room with a lot of enemies, it can give you a nice power boost. It looks like it's going to turn Blue Baby kind of purplish. Maybe we'll see that in action if we get into a room with a lot of hearts. I mean flies, because I can't talk anymore. Like this room. Actually, let's look more like it's turning me gray. So here's me, max power. Shoot blood tears. They are more powerful. I don't remember how much more powerful, though. There is actually a storyline to Binding of Isaac. It's kind of hidden in there with the endings of the game, but I won't spoil what's with Blue Baby. Basically, if you want to find that out, you can look it up or play. So yeah, crack this guy. If it can hit someone, especially if they're standing still, it can do a ton of damage. I think I can get to one of these chests. Yeah, okay. And of course... So yeah, taking damage as Blue Baby is just nightmarish. We're actually off to a good start for me and how well I do with him, despite our negative pill we've already used. When things like this happen, very difficult to get out of because they don't move unless they are not shooting. Tempting, but I'm not going to bother. It's too risky. Actually, just about anything right now is too risky. If I get hit with one of these, it's too risky. If I don't get hit with one of them, it's too risky. And if I make it to a treasure room, I will just about cry. Oh, one little fun fact thing is that when you get down to half a heart and you enter a room, there will be a little pee puddle at the beginning of the room by the door. That was also really bad. I was hoping for the full health or bad trip pill, depending on which. Full health. Actually, I know I've read it, but I can't remember what it does to Blue Baby. I think it gives you 3. Or puts you back up to 3. So, and the last person is Samson with very little health, low speed, well, okay speed, okay attack, and then the Bloodlust, which we've already seen. I can't stand playing as him either. 1 heart, 1 soul heart. He starts off better than Judas does, but that's still, it's rough. Isaac's Fork is kind of nice. Every so many enemies you kill, I think it is, or rooms you clear, it'll give you a little extra half heart. Well, I mean, it'll drop a half heart, I believe it is. Alright, we're gonna go 50-50 on this one. Got very lucky. It was just that thing I was mentioning about how it's 4 coins maximum to get a prize. We're gonna go for it. Because screw the rules. I think Monster just has a lot of health. I don't know what's up with these guys in this room, but they actually have 2 body segments in addition to their head, but one of them is hidden behind the first one and it stays that way. I don't know what's up with that. I guess you only fight 2 bosses. I could have swore it was 3. Guess we got a little lucky. That could have gone. Heck, really could have been anywhere. Alright, Book of a While. That's good for boss fighting. The Justice card that I have, Justice Tarot card, I don't know what it does. I can't seem to remember a whole ton of the cards. Alright, so it's similar to the box. Just gives you a variety of stuff. Which actually I was glad we used, because now we have a key to go into the other treasure room. I don't know why the two odd mushrooms have the exact same name. They're usually distinguished by being, well, at least on the wiki, odd mushroom thin and odd mushroom wide, I think. No idea why they called it the same thing. Guess they didn't have a better name or something. Oh, it also looks like the odd mushroom gave me an extra health container. Unless I just completely forgot picking that up. This is not a waste of a bomb, because there was that room that had a bunch of bombs in it, so I will be making that a worthy sacrifice. This is the Lord of the Flies, if I haven't mentioned already. I don't remember if we even fought him or not. A good boss for Samson because of the free kills. So then we can just do all this extra damage. I think I'll save the Book of Belial for the next boss, unless it's Pin. In which case, well, actually I'll still use it even then, but it's a little bit less useful. So Jesus Juice increases your range and tears up. I believe it might slow you down, I can't remember. It looks like it also made my head a little larger. Yeah, okay, we're gonna use it just for, so we don't have to put up with so much. So he has a ton of health. That's what I'm trying to say. This is what I was talking about a little bit when I said that the trying to fight in a fake 3D environment makes it a little difficult, because it's like, oh, that tier looks like it's going to hit me, but in reality that's actually over me, or, you know, it's just some things like that. We're gonna, yeah, that's alright. So the goat hoof increases your speed. I think I'm gonna stick with the fork. One little thing about these guys is if you can destroy them while they're over the pit, nothing ends up spawning. There was no avoiding any of that. High Priestess sends down Mom's foot to stomp your enemies. And I might die here. Okay, good thing I didn't. Let's see if we got anything good in the treasure room. We do not. It's the remote detonator. So as you can see, it doesn't do anything like this, but what'll happen is place a bomb. It no longer blows up on its own. You gotta activate it. I don't know if there's any really good uses for it, but there are worse items. It looks like it only takes four hits for, or 4 kills for the Pure Rage or Blood Rage or whatever this item's called, to get its maximum damage. So that might be something to keep in mind. Go for some of the smaller enemies first. Damn, well, it was worth a shot. So, that was The Binding of Isaac. I think it's a couple other things to mention. You've got 10 challenges to do if you have the Wrath of the Lamb DLC, which kind of mix up the game a little bit. Like, just for a quick example, Doctor's Revenge which is one of my favorites to do, because it gives you the Dr. Fetus, which makes you shoot bombs, which I've become very friendly with. And it gives you the Doctor's Remote, which you can use also. Each of the challenges also unlock an item for beating them. If you're interested in the game, it's really cheap on Steam. I think it's $5 and $2.50 for the DLC. Also, if you would rather wait, they're working on a kind of demake for The Binding of Isaac, done in 16-bit graphics, I believe it is. So the game's going to be redone, more stuff added. It's looking like it's going to be really awesome. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed.